Officers are meant to serve and protect, but what happens when they act like heartless criminals? Here we showcase 5 stories of police officers getting caught breaking the law on camera. Starting with the case of Tampa police officer Gregory Damon. On November 17, 2022, Officer Damon responded to a call by the Tampa Family Health Center about someone sleeping outside their property and refusing to leave. Now, especially at a facility where families are present, having an unknown individual sleeping there can pose a risk. They could be on drugs or suffer from mental challenges and so possibly be an endangerment to others. When the officer arrived on the scene, he found that it was the same woman who had trespassed into the facility before. Citing a repeat violation, he had her arrested.
Walk to my car.
Why you saying that but pulling me? So go on and drag me, because that's what you're doing anyway.
If you ain't walking, just walk to my car.
How you gonna tell me that, but you pulling me as you said, it didn't say it yet.
Well, we're just trying to lead you over here this way.
Okay, you're doing it too. I feel the force on you too.
Don't be nasty.
That's y'all department. Welcome home.
Don't be nasty.
Yeah, man, if you gonna call me nasty, yeah, man,
I'm not calling you nasty. I'm saying don't be nasty.
No, don't tell me what not to be when y'all doing it to me.
Right here, so I can put it.
Yeah.
Do you have anything on you that can harm me, poke me, stick me?
However, the real trouble began when he arrived with her at the police station.
Miss Marshall, come on, get out the car.
When the I got the right to get out the car when I had a right to get in the car?
Miss Marshall, get out the car, come on.
We'll get some
Miss Marshall, I'm gonna drag you out of this car.
I already know.
I don't want to drag you out,
me.
but I need you to come get out the car.
I want you to do what you did off the porch of the doctor's office.
Come on.
Drag me.
Come on.
The woman refused to get out of the police car. The woman is seen arguing with the officer and refusing to cooperate. This is when the officer begins to lose his patience and warns her he will drag her out of the car. The woman in turn can be heard provoking him to do so.
I want you to drag me.
Come on.
I ain't
Kick your feet out.
I ain't kicking out. Next you be telling me to open my legs for your dumb.
Come on.
Finally, the officer snaps and can be seen forcefully taking the woman out of the car and dragging her onto the parking lot floor.
Yeah, that's what you gonna have to do. That's what you did at the porch. That's what you want to do, and I want you to get that feeling. Guess why? Because I was raised a tomboy in Central Park projects. So guess what? I'm used to being rough. Yeah. You
Stand
want
up.
me by your dumb.
Stand up.
You want me by, you can't pick my big ass up, can you? That's what the officer was jealous
Stand
of.
up, come on.
He couldn't pick my big ass up. He was jealous of my big ass. You want me in this position, dumb? I'm a tomboy. Such a Park project. You ain't heard me at all. CPV, no. Central Park projects, tomboy. Jump walls, hung on the roof. Nigga, man, because you can't pick my big ass up.
Hey, you fat as
And look, I went to Allwood High School. Guess how much I lift weights?
From his body camera, he would also be heard hurling some derogatory remarks at her as he picks her up by her arm and drags her across the floor of the parking lot. His last act was probably the biggest violation of the police code, as it could have resulted in an intentional injury to the arrested woman. Following the incident, an internal department investigation would follow. Officer Damon would be cited for having multiple department policies. As a result, he was terminated from this job a month later. Even if encounters turn unpleasant, it's expected of police officers to hold themselves to a higher standard. They must maintain their professionalism and handle the situation with a cool mind. As it's often stated, with great power comes great responsibility. Our next story happened way back in 2016. Claudia Castillo, a Miami native, caught a police car speeding at over 100 miles an hour. Research shows it was on the Dolphin Expressway where the max speed limit is 55 miles an hour.
I was finally able to pull him over, or pull next to him and ask him to please pull over so we can have a conversation. And he's now pulling over, I guess, or not.
To add to this, the squad car didn't have its lights or siren on, thereby posing a real danger to other traffic on the road. In a rather daring move, the woman decided to follow the cop, pull him over, and explain what he was doing. Throughout the chase, she would honk her horn and flash her lights to get his attention. Eventually, she catches up with him and the following interaction follows. In a rather strange reversal of roles, the woman explains to the cop the reason why he had been pulled over and asks him why he was driving over the speed limit.
The reason I pulled you over today and I'm asking you to come over and have a conversation is because I saw you since Miller Drive when you were first jumping onto the Palmetto.
Okay.
And you were pushing 90 miles an hour.
Really? Okay.
Yes, and because I was going right behind you,
Okay.
and you passed me at, I was going, 35 miles an hour down Miller. You passed me like I was standing still.
Okay.
Then after that, you got on the ramp, and we went past Bird Road. I pushed 80 to try and catch up with you, and I was still, eating your dust. You were leaving me behind, and I was going 80 miles an hour. And I just wanted to know, what's the emergency?
I don't know how fast I was going, but I can tell you this: I'm on the way to work right now. I don't believe I was speeding, but like I said, you're entitled to your opinion. I just saw you now when you pulled over next to me, which is why I pulled over here. I thought you had some kind of emergency or anything. Everything fine?
Now here, if the cop was dishonest and corrupt, he could have easily lied his way out of the situation. Even worse, he could have charged her with a ticket for going 80. Either that, or he could have just abused his authority to intimidate her. Fortunately, that wouldn't be the case here. The officer showed himself to be fully honest and cooperative. He would own up to his mistake and apologize. He would also ask if she wanted his name and badge so she can hold him accountable.
I thought you had some kind of emergency or anything. Everything fine?
No, everything's
Just me
fine. Yeah, it's your speeding.
Okay, well, I apologize, and I'll be sure to slow down then. Okay?
Yeah?
Yes. Okay.
All right. It's
Anything
just.
else?
I
My
think
name,
that.
a badge?
No, I just think that we should all set an example.
No, I agree. I agree.
Leaders of the community set by example.
100%.
Lead by example.
Couldn't agree with you
So
more.
it just irks me because I see kids nowadays. I ride with my boyfriend's kids all the time, and the other day we saw a cop drive past us and it's concerning.
Okay.
So, all right.
All right. Take care. Be safe. Okay.
Thanks.
The woman would say it's fine and that we should all set an example. The officer would agree and the matter would seemingly end there. However, it would later be revealed the officer's department was investigating the matter concerning him and would take the appropriate course of action. So far, we've seen cases of officers who can almost be forgiven for their actions. In our next story, that is clearly not the case. Viewer discretion is advised as the following video can be rather gut-wrenching. On September 19, 2019 in Orlando, the staff of an elementary school called the cops on a 6-year-old. Reportedly, she had been throwing a tantrum and kicking the staff members. Let me remark on the ludicrous nature of this call. A 6-year-old girl doesn't actually pose any threat to an adult. In addition, it's the responsibility of the staff to calm children down, not call cops on them. If anything, they should have called her parents instead. Calling cops on a minor simply throwing tantrums is like calling the US military on shoplifting. Nevertheless, an officer named Dennis Turner responded to the incident. Now, having served for over 28 years in the police, you would expect a veteran like him to think critically of the matter and chide the staff for wasting police resources on a 6-year-old throwing a tantrum. Instead, he would respond in the absolute worst way possible. Here you can see the officer escorting the 6-year-old to his squad car. The child has her hands zip-tied behind her back and is pleading for the officer to let her go. The officer remains unmoved by her heartbreaking cries.
I don't want to go to the police car.
You don't want to?
No, please.
You have to.
No, please. Give me a second chance.
You gotta go.
I don't want to.
In an earlier recording, you can see the officer putting restraints on the crying child.
Come over here.
What are those for?
It's for you.
Keep your hands, okay? Come over here, honey. It's not gonna hurt.
No!
Okay,
No,
well,
I don't want handcuffs on! No! Don't put handcuffs on! Help me!
This was despite reportedly the principal himself having requested not to do so. Moreover, what he was doing was also outright illegal. Under Florida law at the time, a police officer required a deputy chief's approval before a child under 12 could be arrested. Officer Turner had gotten no such approval. After the child was arrested and taken away, the officer could be heard bragging that it was a new record for him. Following public backlash, the department would investigate the officer's wrongdoing. It would also be revealed that he had arrested a 6-year-old boy in a separate episode on the same day. He would be quickly terminated from his job. The officer's action effectively destroyed the lives of 2 children, not only by giving them severe trauma, but also by getting their names on the criminal record. Since the incident, the girl is stated to have developed a fear of the police and has nightmares of her arrest. Following these incidents, a Florida senator would introduce a bill that would bar police officers from arresting anyone under the age of 12. It was heartbreaking to watch this young 6-year-old girl pleading for help and asking for a second chance as she was being arrested. The trauma this caused Kaya and her family is something nobody should ever have to go through. He is quoted to have said, according to Aramis Ayala, a state attorney, this incident highlighted the greater issue of systemic discrimination at play, referring to it as a school-to-prison pipeline. These very young children are to be protected, nurtured, and disciplined in a manner that does not rely on the criminal justice system to do it. This 4th story is going to be no better. It involves what seems to be a clear example of police brutality. The incident happened on September 21, 2022, involving Delaware police officer Samuel Waters and his victim, 44-year-old Dwayne Brown. Here in the camera footage, you can see Brown minding his own business, taking money out of his wallet to buy a bottle of water. This is when he is confronted by a police officer who had followed him into the store. The officer instructs him to face the bulletproof glass shelf as he is under arrest. Brown wouldn't try to resist, but then this happens. Here you can see the police officer repeatedly slamming his head with force into the bulletproof glass and then dragging him to the ground.
My face, bro. You just smashed my face into the glass for nothing. Then you just ready to slam me down. Look what you just did, man. And all I'm asking you is what is going on? Why are you arresting me?
Right. And I told you, I was detaining you. You just need to turn around.
No,
you didn't want to listen.
Tell me anything. You didn't even read my rights or nothing. You didn't tell me what was going on. You just straight started assaulting me, dude. Look at my face. Stop. Look at my face, man.
According to the officer, he had followed Brown after he had allegedly harassed workers at a nearby daycare center and had prior charges on him, including the possession of marijuana. A later federal investigation would show the officer broke several other protocols during the arrest. Even after being subdued, the officer allegedly continued to brutalize him.
You're going down, dude. You just assaulted me for no reason.
Okay.
You just assaulted me for no reason, dude.
I wanted to have a conversation with you, and you got squirrely.
You didn't. You wasn't trying to conversate nothing, dude. You was trying to assault me.
Okay.
And if you think the officer's acting out of line so far,
from the door.
Well, so maybe next time I say put your hands in the wall, you'll listen. Instead of being
in the air. My hands were in the air. Now you just assault me. This guy just assaulted me, man. I like to speak to superiors. You just assaulted me. It's all on camera in there, dude.
I see another set of hands in the car. Come on. Let's go.
Why are you trying to twist and break my wrist?
No idea. He don't want to tell me his name. My fingerprint scanner's not working. Okay. I tried to have a conversation with him, and he broke bad, and we ended up fighting.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, so he's angry, got his head slammed into a wall, but...
Well, that is what it is.
Brown, in a later interview, would state he feared he would end up being killed. To make matters worse, the officer was known to have a history of brutality. For instance, just 9 days before the incident, he had been involved in causing excessive injury while arresting a non-combatant person. Not only was the officer abusing a position of trust and authority, but he would then subsequently try to tamper with the evidence. A few months after the incident, Officer Waters was fired from his department. He would be charged with 1 count of tampering with public records, 1 count of perjury, 3 counts of assault, 2 counts of official misconduct, and 1 count of falsifying a business record. He could face up to 8 years in prison after being convicted of 4 crimes, including a felony for using excessive force. This next story is also of a police officer abusing his authority. However, this time, for him, it's personal. The incident took place in Ohio in April 2018. It involved an officer named John Kovak, who allegedly wasn't approving of her daughter's relationship with 18-year-old Makai Coleman. He is stated to have said of Coleman as, quote, not a good person. The incident took place when Kovak spotted Coleman in a car and pulled him over. Without stating why and asking any questions, as in the standard procedure, the cop opens the car door and announces that Coleman is being arrested. The young man asks why he's being detained, to which the officer has this to reply.
You can get out. You're going to jail. Get out. Have a seat in my car. We'll make shit up as we go.
The young man here has every right to resist what essentially is an unlawful arrest. Nevertheless, probably understanding that the officer wasn't up to any good, it was best to just cooperate and pray nothing bad happened. As the boys escorted into the police car, the officer goes to check on his car. It is then he realizes that his daughter was also present, seated in the back seat.
I didn't even see you. Get out of the car. Get in my car. Go ahead, you guys are good. Ma'am, they could go with you. Get in my car. Goodbye.
What?
Goodbye.
You,
Goodbye. Get in my car.
you can't. You can't take me. I am 18.
Goodbye.
You can't take her in. She's an adult.
Goodbye.
Hey, you can get back in the car. You're in the
No, you're not. Get in my car.
Why are you taking me?
Get in my car.
Why are you taking me? You have to give me a reason. By law, why are you pushing me? Why are you fucking pushing me? Why are you doing this? Turn on your camera, guys. Turn it on.
Get in my car.
You can't arrest me for no reason. You can't. You can't.
Caitlin! Knock it off!
You don't want me! I know! Why you can't do this! You can't do this! You can't! You can't take me for no reason!
Yeah, she did nothing.
I'm an adult!
Get in the car.
Why are you putting her in the car?
She was suicidal yesterday.
I was not!
She was in the
You weren't even with me yesterday!
Friday. Get in the car.
Friday, I was not!
Get in the car.
Then he would be seen telling his own daughter to go to his squad car. Probably understanding that his daughter could report on the incident, he tells the boy he's being let go. He then puts his daughter in the back seat despite her cries of protest. Since the daughter is over 18 and is being held against her will, this can qualify as a possible case of kidnapping. Later, as his department would investigate the incident, Officer Kovak would claim he was concerned that his daughter was suicidal. Apparently, she had once said to him, "If I can't be with them, I don't want to be here anymore." He would also further lie to investigators that Coleman almost hit his patrol car, which is why he stopped and detained him. Officer Kovak got fired from his department. However, he would not be charged with any criminal offense, with an FBI spokeswoman stating that it was more of an internal matter. If you enjoy our content, please subscribe for more.